My name is Sam Thompson, and we're here with episode 66. It's really exciting, the information we get to cover. We have a really awesome episode planned for you all. And this morning, of course, we're always joined by Joe Bladek. So, Joe, how are you doing today?
Hey, Sam. Thanks for the introduction. I'm doing well today. Just really glad to be here as well. Episode 66. Right before we were starting this episode, we were talking about just our journey through all our episodes and how kind of amazing it's been to talk about all our topics and just all the content we've covered. So yeah, it's exciting to be here, and I'm really pumped about today. We had our big day yesterday with the Bank of Canada announcement, which we're going to talk a little bit about today as well. But yeah, really pumped. How are you doing today, Sam?
Yeah, I'm doing good. We made it into March, which seems again crazy that the time has just been flying, but I guess it's our technically second episode of March, so that's exciting as well.
Yeah, definitely our second episode of March. And yeah, it's with March coming around, what's that? Spring, right? Spring is in the air. My son and I were actually talking about spring last night and how quickly it's coming upon us and how soon we'll see all the snow melting away. So that's going to be pretty exciting. And just being able to get out there and, see the weather changes is going to be nice to have that come along.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, we'll see if the spring market also brings some more houses on the market, some more activity. I know that one thing we definitely need is more supply. If we can get that from people listing their homes, I mean, I think we talked about it the last couple of weeks, but definitely have been seeing way more for sale signs than I saw in January, even towards the end of the year last year. So hopefully it's a sign that, as COVID is lifting, things are normalizing a bit. People maybe are more inclined to, get on with their moves if that's what they're planning. So we'll see what the spring market has in store for us.
Yes, I think you're right. Because in my area as well, I know you're down in Barrie and I'm up in Aurelia, but it's been like that here. I've been seeing more for sale signs pop up, and those for sale signs, I mean, they're all of a sudden, it's like all of a sudden when you see in the spring, all the first buds of the flowers coming through the ground. So that's a good sign of the warm air to come. I always like seeing that. And who knows what's going to happen with the mortgage market. And that's why we're here to report on the news, to watch the trends, to see where things have been, and just to help the Canadian homeowner guide them through their mortgage. So with that, let's jump into the mortgage statistics that we normally follow each week. Today, starting off with the bond yield. And I know, Sam, that you and I have been really excited about the bond yield lately. There's a lot of excitement in the mortgage world, and this is one of the things that mortgage professionals follow, some on an hourly basis, but just watching this bond yield has been quite exciting. So tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, absolutely. We have seen a lot of activity over, the last couple of days. We had seen probably since January some relatively steady growth. Of course, it has, you can see here some of the peaks and valleys, but more or less the trend line was still trending upwards. And then on Tuesday, just a few days ago, there was quite a substantial drop. I think we were up at about 1.8, and it dropped by almost 0.4%. It dropped way down to 1.48%, which was quite shocking to see that morning, right? Going on to check the statistics and seeing that such a change had happened over the course of, a day and a half.
Yeah, it's such a big change. I totally understand. Looking at this chart, we did see that bond yield creeping up, but it did fall right back to 1.48. Such a big jump, 21 basis points we were talking about. And that all happened around the Bank of Canada interest rate announcement, all timed around that same time. It also seemed to coincide with some stock market challenges that they were having and the whole conflict in the Ukraine. So I don't know if it's all related, but however, it has recovered, like you said, just slightly there. And I wonder what it's going to happen, what will happen in the future. And we will follow that trend into the next few weeks, because now that, we've seen some changes happen after yesterday's announcement. It might influence just where this will go.
Yeah, absolutely. It'll definitely be interesting to track. I mean, the rate is now at 1.62. So it has recovered from 1.48, but again, we were reporting, closer to, 1.8%, the higher range of 1.7. So it definitely will be something that you'll want to stay tuned with to, get an idea of where that fixed rate's headed.
Absolutely. And in terms of variable rates, something that we also follow here on Canadian Mortgage Weekly is the CDOR rate. And Sam is always on top of this figure here for us, making sure it is updated. And thank you very much for having that ready. But with the recent change in prime as of yesterday, the variance now is just under 2%. And that's with the prime rate at 2.70%. And that rate has continued to slowly increase. And the variance actually still indicating that the variable mortgage and that as an option for the Canadian homeowner is still a viable and competitive option in terms of the fixed rate. That's something that is really good to know, because a lot of the times, like, our clients will ask us, Joe, Sam, is this the best rate for me? Is it better to go with the variable? Is it better to go with a fixed? And how can we decide? And there was times where the fixed rate was almost the same as the variable rate. So why would you take a variable rate? Whereas in this case, the variable rate is much lower than the fixed currently. So, it's something to consider. It remains competitive. What are your thoughts, Sam?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it really does still maintain a competitive and a very viable option. I mean, we were chatting on yesterday's video when we were looking at the Bank of Canada rate announcement that it's been the first rate increase for quite a while. So I think maybe it was a bit of clients who maybe had opted in for a variable rate, and we're starting to see a rate hike for the first time. So I think naturally that kind of stirred some thinking and some, processing out loud of where's the rate going? How is this going to affect me? But again, we're looking at such a variance from the fixed to the variable rate that even amongst these rate hikes, I think we can still expect strong results from the variable rate as it is.
Excellent analysis on that. And yes, with that decision yesterday came that Bank of Canada announcement that was long anticipated. We saw a lot of articles coming out how the Bank of Canada will increase rates. Some economists even going out saying that there will be a double rate increase, as we were talking about, a 0.5% increase. But however, there was it was the first increase in just around 3.5 years, and that was by 0.25%. So the Bank of Canada overnight rate currently sits at 0.5%. Definitely check out the video yesterday. Sam and I covered the event live, and you'll see it as a special pre-rate show and Bank of Canada announcement. And really looking forward to the next announcement, because it's going to really tell where the market's going, where inflation's headed, because that seems to have been a lot of the general talk in the monetary policy report that was released yesterday, Sam. We saw that there was comments about inflationary pressure.
Yeah, that's right. There was definitely inflationary pressure. And again, they have been quoting a lot of economic growth, which is, pushing them to start to begin to raise that rate, because we had seen it, drop substantially in March of 2020 at the start of the pandemic. They had talked about, and again, I think the last rate announcement, many economists were calling for the rate hike then, but with some uncertainty still with COVID and, the economy really getting back under its feet, they were definitely impressed with where the economy had gotten, but it still wasn't enough to tip them last time. But it looks like this time there's been a number of factors that have, influenced their decision to increase that rate.
Absolutely. And those will be priorities, I know, for the Bank of Canada going forward. But, some of the things that can affect that priority will be obviously some of the supply chain issues that were mentioned, and the current international conflict situation that is happening. So we'll keep an eye on that on Canadian Mortgage Weekly. And just quickly moving into the national house price before we move on to our special guest today and our topic of our video. Has not been updated yet, Sam, but we are looking forward to seeing what the national house price is just in a few more weeks for February of 2022.
Yes, that's right. We're still working currently with our house price average for January, which saw an increase of just under 22% year over year, and also bringing, the minimum annual household income needed about 156,000. So yeah, it'll definitely be interesting to see, how the house prices change, how it varies as we move forward from this point. And it's a very topical episode because we do have a local realtor that we'll be chatting with, regarding some local stats for that market, and get a bit of an insight of, what's happening in the market in different areas, because that can definitely give us an indication and help us, try and forecast where we think the market's headed.
Yeah, definitely. Looking forward to having our special guest on today. And Sam, with our today's topic, we're talking about the Windsor and Essex County markets. And what better person to have on our episode today than RuthAnn Osborne. RuthAnn is part of Team Goran Re Care Realty in Windsor, Ontario. And yeah, looking forward to hearing her comments about the Windsor market. And RuthAnn, are you there? Can you hear us today?
I can hear you. Let me
Awesome.
start my video here. Oh, there we go.
Hey,
hello,
RuthAnn.
nice to see you.
Yeah, nice to see you too. We just finished talking about just some of the mortgage statistics that everyone always is so excited to hear about. So now that the exciting part's done, we could get into the real estate side, which is probably even more exciting, actually, to be honest, and what's happening in the Windsor market. So how are things going today? How's the weather?
You know what? The weather is beautiful today, which is great because it's been like overcast and cloudy and stuff, but it's beautiful. It's really bright, but it's still very, very cold out. Like you need a toque and you need some mittens and you definitely need a jacket, but hopefully that'll be over soon. In Windsor, we usually get more rain than snow, but we always in March or like the 1st of April, we'll have like 2 really sunny days where you could wear a tank top, and then we'll just get blasted with like a snowstorm that'll be for a day or 2, and then it's gone. So we're waiting for that snowstorm, that one last snowstorm, and then I can take out all my summer clothes and put away all my winter clothes.
We're almost there. We're almost there. That's awesome to hear, though, that you have one more blast to consider there, before you put away those winter clothes. It seems to be the Canadian winter, right? It's like a yo-yo of back and forth and all that. But yeah, that's awesome to hear. And what kind of things are you looking forward to in the spring there? Do you have any sports or things that you look forward to that you do in the spring, summer?
Oh, I'm so looking forward to getting the trailer out of storage and going camping. That I'm looking forward to 100%. That,
Yeah.
And the sun and the beach and all those other things. And oh yeah, not having snow or cold. That's what I'm really looking forward to.
Exactly. That sounds awesome. And I love camping myself. So that's awesome to look forward to that. And I'm sure campsites will start opening up to start booking things soon and all that. But with that, Sam and I were just talking about how we're seeing a lot of for sale signs starting to hit our area just these last few weeks. And I don't know if that's specific to like the Simcoe County, Barrie, Orillia, Ontario area, but are you seeing the same thing in Windsor, or has that already happened in Windsor?
Yeah, so I feel like the spring market came early down here in Windsor. It started like end of December, 1st of February. So the numbers that we're getting down here, the amount of calls are more what we would see in like a spring market, right? March, April, May. So if we're busy right now this way, when the spring market comes, I think it's going to be, even busier.
Okay, so that's interesting because this time of year, right? The snow's still out. People are sort of not wanting to make a move, but it seems like there's a big growing demand that people want to list and want to move, and there's that happening right now. So there's a lot more demand happening. Would you say it's a good time to list your house right now?
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's a good time to list your house right now. I mean, we have a lot more homes on the market this year than we did last year. I've got a couple of statistics. So like last year at this time, there were 581 listings, but this year there's 680. So that's like an extra 100 listings, right? But in Windsor right now, like we have one house for 3 people. And that's an issue, right?
Mhm.
So if you're looking to sell, I mean, it's a fantastic time to do that because people who are looking right now are very serious buyers, right? Nobody wants to go out in the cold or drive down here from Toronto or Burlington or wherever they're from in this kind of cold weather, possible snow, rain and stuff like that for a home if they aren't serious. So in the summertime, yeah, we've got more people, but some of them are more tire kickers where you're serious buyers. They're out right now.
That makes a lot of sense because even on our side, like the buyers that are coming through, we see they want to get started. They want to get started right away. They know the value in getting in early and making sure that they're pre-approved and ready to go. So we're seeing that too. Although we're also seeing that it's harder for buyers to get qualified just for the house that they want to buy because the average prices have gone up so much. So that's been an interesting thing that we've been seeing with the average price hitting 748,000 across the entire country. That's absolutely crazy. What's the average price in Windsor right now?
Yeah, so like we're making history down here with these 700s.
Yeah.
The Windsor Star actually just did an article on it because this is really unheard of for us.
Yeah.
But yeah, our average sale price was like 704,000 in that area where
Wow.
and this is what's crazy. And for
Wow.
buyers out there, I'm not saying this to scare you. I'm saying this to be real with you. And hopefully it kind of changes in your thinking and kind of gives you a little bit of an oomph to go out and get busy right now looking for a home. Because like 704 was our average sales price this month, like for the month of February, right? In January, it was 636,000. Okay. So in 1 month, we have gone up like 67,000. But
Wow.
from January to February this year, we went up 60,000 as well. So we have gone up in 2 months, around $130,000 in our market. I mean, for people who have been looking and thinking about, oh, I'm going to start in the spring, or I'm going to start in the new year. That house that you were looking at back in December is now selling for 130,000 more than what it was selling for last year, right? And I think, like I said at the very beginning, we are busy right now. We are in like a spring market feel, but it's not even spring, which means that it's going to get busier, which means statistically that pushes the more buyers, it's going to push the price up, right? So I really encourage buyers right now, if you are thinking about starting to really get started in the next couple of days.
That's really a good point too, RuthAnn. Not only is waiting going to prevent you from getting that house a little bit of just a better deal right now versus the future. You said it yourself, $67,000 in 1 month. That's an entire year's salary, a good salary in 1 month right there. So just by waiting and preparing yourself to make sure you're exactly right financially and exactly right everywhere else and finding the exact house, you might have to pay an additional 60 to 120,000 just by waiting 1 or 2 extra months, possibly, right? Just by seeing the way things are going, I can't believe that it's that busy and it will just continue to get busier. And that makes sense in a way, because we've seen people locked down. A lot of families have been not really wanting to make a move right now for a few years. So there's going to be that pent up demand that will just be unleashed on top of the current demand that we're seeing. So it's going to be an interesting year. And with rates going up, that's also going to force your payments to be higher on that money you're getting. So just by waiting can actually cost you more in the long run, unfortunately. But
yeah,
good point.
and if I can just say, for buyers out there, So
Yeah.
what we see as real estate agents, whenever there's any change with the mortgage rates, okay, no matter what it is, there is usually, the mortgage rates change. There is a 2-week period in there where all of a sudden we just kind of flatline. Okay. Houses are up on the market, but buyers are like, you know, and people aren't really looking. So if you are stable and you've already gone and you've gotten that pre-approval and you know what you're looking for, this 2 weeks that's coming up, I get a hold of your agent, whether it's in London or, I mean, Windsor, you can call me, call anybody on my team. And those 2 weeks, when that happens, you need to hit the ground hard, because those sellers are looking for somebody to sell. And those 2 weeks, instead of 13 offers or 6 offers or 7 offers, there may be no offers. There may be 1 offer, you know, and that's really important. I mean, I've called pretty much all my buyers and said, listen, we've got a 2-week period that's going to be coming up here where we really need to focus and we really need to concentrate. I mean, in Windsor right now, like, we had 680 homes listed, but there was only 549 that were sold last month, which is really huge for us, because we haven't been seeing those kinds of numbers, right? So there are homes that are sitting on the market, and these people do have to sell, right? And we're going to have a 2-week period where it's going around 2 weeks, where it is going to slow down. And, you know, sellers are going to be like, oh no, it's slowing down. Like, that's the time as a buyer to get in there.
That's really a good point. I've never really considered it the way you've said it, to go in and just start shopping and really getting an offer hammered in when those rates change. Because you're right, when we see that same thing on our side, when buyers see the rates change, all of a sudden there is that lull, there is that pause when the whole market just says, what's going on? Are we okay? Is this going to continue forward? And then everyone flocks back in. So like you're saying, there's that time that you can get in. That's a real good point. So you probably, I'm guessing, won a few offers that you wouldn't have otherwise won, it just by helping clients concentrate during that time frame.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, I know as a buyer, it seems like everything's, you know, everything's going way over. It's impossible to get a house. And it can be a little bit frustrating right now, but there are things that we can do, you know, like preemptives, right? I mean, if you are good and solid, there are still people taking preemptives, right? Also, like, there on my team, we have a lot of exclusive, and we're selling a lot of exclusive homes, right? So when we list a home, we have it for a couple of days to a week, and we open it up to our team. So if I list a home and one of my partners, say Casey, she has a buyer, I mean, that buyer may have put in a couple of offers, and now there's this home. If they can come in, get an offer, you know, then they're not competing with anybody, right? It hasn't even hit the market. And we have people that are winning offers like that all the time here on our team. And I hear other places as well.
Really good point to know, just for all the buyers out there. I mean, Sam, it's interesting, like, there's these homes that RuthAnn is selling within her team that aren't even hitting the market, just by the folks being connected with RuthAnn and just having her be able to share those listings to her clients before they hit the market. She's able to get them those off-market deals and just be able to get them a little bit of a heads up. So what would you recommend someone do if they want to kind of be in that same situation?
Yeah, if they want to be in that same situation, to be able to get some off-market properties, whether you're an out-of-town buyer or you live in Windsor right now, you can give myself a call, or you can call Team Goran, and any of our agents can help you here. We normally sit down and we talk about the market, because there's a way you will get a house faster if you understand the market, right? So we do like a market education. We look at what's available on the market. We talk about different ways to structure an offer, all that kind of stuff. And then at that point, we can start to look at homes. You have access to our exclusive list of homes and whatever comes on the market. And it goes, you know, it takes from like 3 months down to 1 month. Like, it really cuts the time in half to have that market education and also have those extra houses that aren't available out there. You know, you're hearing about them, you're seeing them, and you're putting in an offer before they even hit the market.
Pretty good. All about you, Sam. But I would like to, as a buyer, have access to everything, not only the listings I see on realtor.ca, because it sounds like that's only half of the inventory that we're seeing right now, especially with the inventory. I mean, we're always talking about how the inventory is so low here on Canadian Mortgage Weekly, just to help get more houses out there, because we not only have the demand that we're seeing that RuthAnn is talking about, what we have immigration demand. Who knows how much more immigration we'll have this year with the conflict, and just more demand with people wanting to buy homes. And I mean, you said it, RuthAnn, 1 home for every 3 buyers, right?
Yeah, that's really big. And like you said about immigration, so we're a border city down here, and we have a lot of immigration that comes into our city. So we also have a lot of investors. Like Windsor is a fantastic place to invest in, and I have investors who bought properties last year, and at the time it was like, that seems really high. You know, the tenant isn't even like, there isn't even a positive cash flow happening here. But these investors have bought this property, and I mean, now, like I said, I mean, just in 2 months, the market's gone up 130,000, right? So their investment has grown immensely in a year. I mean, it's grown by almost half. Like last year, the average sale price was 217,000. Now, like, or sorry, it was 486, and now we're in the sevens, right? Like that's a $217,000 difference. So as far as investment wise, like, I mean, I have a fantastic condo coming up for an investment that's right on the waterfront, and investors are going to love that. You know, I've had it listed exclusively for a few days now, but I mean, like, it's going to go, because Windsor's a fantastic place not to just live, but also to invest in anything here. I mean, the market's just, we're growing, and we're going to be having immigration, so much more of it happening in this city, and we need housing.
Definitely need housing. We're definitely going to have more immigration, and that condo does sound good for any investor. It sounds like it'd be easy to rent because it's just on the water. I mean, who doesn't want a water view? And you got the Ambassador Bridge there. That's a pretty awesome structure. I would love to look at that all day.
Yeah.
And, I don't know if you have a view of that, but just as a condo too, as an investor, like you don't really have to worry about cutting the lawn, you know, little things like that, right? Because it's usually included in the common elements, or in some sort of way. Maybe it's like, is it a high rise or is it a townhome?
No, it's like a 4-story. Like
Yeah.
it's a 4-story, yeah, and it has some tenants in it that are fantastic. And the property management, I mean, you can choose to continue to work with the property management or not, but they've been awesome through this whole process. So, I mean, the seller that's selling it, they live out of town, right? And it's been a great investment for them for 11 years now. And they've rented to students. They have a husband and wife that are in there now, but I mean, right on the water, you know, and it's a beautiful building. So, and there's opportunities like that all over the city. And again, there's also opportunities within our team, where there's those off-market listings that haven't hit the market yet, right?
That sounds really good. Thanks for coming on today, RuthAnn. It's really good to kind of go over these tips, hear about the Windsor market, hear how it's just been increasing. Last month, $67,000. That's just massive. You know, that tip right there where you talked about how you can help get buyers in right at the lull period when rates are changing. So the fact that you're even a realtor that has a pulse on that is really good to know, because you're monitoring not only the client's best interest in the housing market, but you're also monitoring also the finance market to make sure that you're there watching everything for them, which is really awesome. And you know, that condo does sound pretty good. So having those exclusive listings, just if anyone's looking to buy in Windsor and Essex County, give RuthAnn a call. I think your number is 519-564-1235, right?
You can go with that number or my direct office line, which is 226-783-3711. Or you can even call the Team Goran office. Any of the agents here are fantastic. They can help you. 519-979-9949.
Awesome. RuthAnn, thanks so much for coming on today. It's been great to have you share your knowledge with everyone. And yeah, if anyone's looking to contact RuthAnn, let us know. We'll send your message to RuthAnn or just contact her directly.
Awesome. And thank you so much, Joe and Sam. It's always a pleasure talking with you guys, and it's always a good time.
Yeah, us too. We hope to have you back again when you have some more news about the market. It's always good to kind of connect and share this with everyone. If anyone has any questions, leave a comment below and we'll make sure RuthAnn gets back to you.
Awesome. Thank you.
See you later. All right, so thanks very much, RuthAnn. That was great having you on today. It's always good to have a special guest. We try to have a special guest on at Canadian Mortgage Weekly on the first of episode every month. And so far, Sam, we've heard a lot of good information today. RuthAnn gave us some great tips.
She definitely went through, a lot of great tips. And again, I know that in our, even our first time buyer webinar, we really pushed for having a buyer's agent. And I think she's, proven and shown that, especially in today's market, having, that direct relationship with the buyer can unlock, even more units than what you can see on Realtor, or if you're searching even on, Zumper. I know I've heard that sometimes those listings are like 3 months old, they don't even exist anymore. So yeah, it was great to have RuthAnn on.
Absolutely. So if anyone has any again questions for us or RuthAnn, drop us a comment below. And speaking about us, a little bit about Sam Thompson today. Sam Thompson is a mortgage professional. He's been with the Mega Mortgage powered by Verico Lend at Ease team for just over 2 years. And yeah, lives in Barrie with his wife and puppy, originally from Ottawa, Ontario. And yeah, it's great always to have your knowledge and for you to always be putting together all this information for us for these episodes.
Yeah, well, thanks so much, Joe, for the intro. It was a great video to be a part of. I love Canadian Mortgage Weekly. And for anybody who doesn't know Joe, Joe, you're a mortgage professional in the Barrie Simcoe area, living up in Aurelia with your wife, Mel, and 2 kids up there. So it's a busy household for you as well. And again, 11 years in the industry. So a lot of information regarding the mortgage stats that I put together. It's paired with, all of the experience that you have in the market. So it's always great to be on the show with you, Joe.
Thank you very much, Sam. Yeah, it's great to always be sharing this. And I love Canadian Mortgage Weekly 2, episode 66 today. And looking forward to episode 67 as we progress into March 2022, which is credit month for us at Canadian Mortgage Weekly. We'll be talking about all things credit and how you can improve your score. One of the things specifically is exactly that. Next week, we'll be talking about 5 things you can do to improve your credit score. So Sam, we're looking forward to sharing some of those tips. We were already talking about them today. Mm-hmm. And yeah, they're simple tips that anyone can implement.
Yeah, that's right.
All right. So thanks everyone for joining us today. If you have a question, comment, leave us a comment below, send us a private message, or share the video if you found this useful so anyone else can watch it. And we hope you have a great day.